Dr. K dominated Dr. Mike because Dr. Mike was too much of a nice guy. Let's learn more. Hi guys, so this is an interesting discussion between Dr. Mike and Dr. K. Just as a background, Dr. Mike represents evidence-based medicine, what we usually call medicine, while Dr. K represents more the Eastern philosophy that today often means more woo-woo that is not very well backed by science. We're not discussing medicine here, we are discussing social and power dynamics. And Dr. K dominated and, in my opinion, humiliated Dr. Mike. Let's see together why.
I think that some of this stuff is quite revolutionary because it helps me understand. So even like, for example, depression, understanding like, okay, what is this person's Ayurvedic dosha? It helps inform me about how.
Well, you judge for yourself if that make any sense to you. But again, let's not discuss the merit of Eastern medicine, which, by the way, in itself is the wrong frame. This is a frame very convenient to woo-woo gurus because they can call medicine Western. But there is no Western medicine. There is evidence-based medicine that rests on scientific principles, and that is true in the West, in the East, in the North, in the South, on Mars, on Neptune, and wherever you go. So that's already the first manipulative frame. Watch out for it.
It seems to me, based...
The voice can already be improved from Dr. Mike. It's a little bit too high-pitched, in my opinion.
On this conversation, Ayurvedic medicine is fraught with a lot of bias issues, etc., that you pointed out, reliability, all that. Since so much of it is inaccurate, and there's a few things that you think is very valuable, why not take the concepts of those things, like improving the cognitive fingerprinting of modern tools, focusing more on the individual approach, and stop calling it and talking about Ayurvedic medicine? Because it's sexy to talk about Ayurvedic medicine because people are passionate about it. But 90% plus is crap.
Boom.
And yet I feel like we're keeping it afloat.
Well, I don't know that it's crap, and you don't know.
This is also a very manipulative frame. How can you be sure of anything 100%? Of course you cannot be sure of anything 100%. However, if we are using science to measure and to test things, we know that very well. It is 90% crap.
I know that it's crap.
Well, we know that it's crap because
Good.
of how it got to where it is. Because of the...
Maybe not the perfect reply. Maybe you should have said because we tested it and it doesn't work. They would have closed the argument much more effectively. However, he's trying to be a little bit more accommodating. That is an issue for too many nice guys. It's good to be accommodating when you are dealing with other honest, good people. However, some other people will take advantage of your accommodating approach to use it against you and to dominate you. Let's see.
lack of reliability, the randomization.
We don't know it's crap. We just don't know that it's not crap. There's a big difference.
Can you see the manipulative tool there?
And when someone makes a claim that this water will prevent you from dying, or this is the anti-aging water, do you know that this is not going to prevent you from living forever? Like, do you know that I'm lying about this?
No, I don't.
Right? You need to do a trial. But I'm very comfortable as a doctor
I'm
now
with you.
saying, no, that's not happening.
Yeah.
Because mechanistically it's not there. The evidence isn't there. And I've gotten to the point where even though I don't have the evidence.
So Mike, what frustrates you so much about it?
Man, this is so fucking manipulative. What frustrates you so much? Look, if you accept this frame, now the frame becomes that you are frustrated, that there is something wrong with you, and not the fact that this type of medicine, however you pronounce it here, has not stood the test of evidence.
Ayurvedic medicine.
I'll tell you why. It leads to a fundamental misunderstanding of.
Not too bad of an answer. However, he could have said what I just said. I have no personal problem with it. The problem this approach has is with science. We tested it. It does not work. It does not stand the test of data and evidence. It's not about me. It's about what works and what doesn't work. There would have been a much stronger reply. He doesn't do too bad here. Let's see.
Healthcare for a large percentage of patients. It opens room for health gurus and hucksters to take advantage
Yeah, Dr. K may be one of them.
of people. And it actually diverts our attention from ways that we can improve medicine.
Okay. So now I'm understanding this conversation a lot
This guy is such a little sneaky manipulative fuck.
better. So I noticed that this was becoming very antagonistic.
Man, look at his face, look at his eyes. He does have a little bit of an antagonistic attitude. However, now he frames the conversation as becoming antagonistic. So he makes it personal between him and Mike instead of being the brand of medicine that he represents to be baseless.
Which was really weird because I actually agree with the majority of what you're saying.
He doesn't. They come from completely different position. However, this is again a very manipulative approach because now he is acting with words, at least, very negotiative, very accommodating, very nice, very win-win type of approach. But now that begets the same approach back because of social exchange. If I'm being this kind and open to talk type of guy, then you should be the same back. And Dr. Mike falls for this.
I see that.
Yeah, right. So I'm the first to kind of say, like, I'm the one who said, hey, like 90% of it, I think could be crap.
No, before he said 90% of it is crap. Now he changed it. It could be crap, but Dr. Mike does not challenge it.
And so I was kind of struck a little bit. And then that's when I realized, like, I'm not talking to someone who has an open mind.
Bro, fuck, man. Can you see what this guy has done? I'm not talking to somebody who has an open mind. He's saying you don't have an open mind, but he's using a little bit better and less aggressive words just to covertly reach the same goal. Now he's defensive. Now he wants to prove him wrong. He wants to prove he has an open mind, if he falls for it, which he does.
I'm talking to someone who has a mind made up.
Man, again, he's making about the two of them and that he's at fault. He must not fall for this. It's not about me and you. It's about the weight of the evidence that is all against your brand of medicine. As simple as that, man. But he falls for it.
Talking about it from a truth-seeking perspective. So my mind.
This is wrong because the truth is out there. The evidence is there. You don't need to have a conversation about this. But now, with this attitude that he takes, he makes it up for discussion, which it should not be.
Mine's not made up. If you presented some data or information here,
It's not too bad. That's not too bad. However, what he should say is that the tests have already been done. It doesn't work. The onus is on you to prove all that evidence wrong. Do your research, do your tests, bring the data that disproves everything that we know so far, and I will believe you. Now it's up to him to prove that his woo-woo BS actually works, which he could not. But Dr. Mike doesn't do that.
here that showed Ayurvedic medicine is way more accurate than you think it is, I would have changed my mind today.
Yeah, so
He's thinking about the best angle he can take to win the argument. He's not there to have an honest conversation.
that's it's interesting, but I think
I definitely have a bias.
yeah. So
Fuck, man, you don't have a bias. Your bias is being on the side of data and evidence. That is not a bias, for Christ's sake. See, he conceded here, he rolled over. Bad, Mr. Mike. You should have stood there, not just for yourself, but for science itself and the world. I lost a lot of respect for this guy. And I'm sorry to say it because he's such a nice guy and that's his fault. Too nice.
What I've learned so far.
how is this conversation for you emotionally?
God damn it. Such a manipulative, sneaky fuck. Do you see it? How is this conversation for you emotional? It's not emotional, dumbass. You are being a sneaky fuck, not me being emotional. Of course, you could not expect that from Mike, and yeah, I'm sorry, falls for it again.
Exciting.
In what way? So do you feel anything besides excitement?
Full excitement
What
that
a
we're...
sneaky fuck. Now he's acting like the therapist of the situation. The rule of thumb for power dynamics is the person who asks questions leads the conversation, the person who replies complies and follows.
finding a way to truth seek together.
No, you're not. You're falling for it.
So, because I agree with you, but I think there are a couple of things to keep in.
Again, this is manipulative bridge seeking while in truth he's promoting and defending his angle.
And what I'm also detecting from you is like, I think I'm detecting this emotion of frustration because of hucksters and these kinds of people.
He's feeding back to him what he just said, just to prove that he's a good therapist. But he just fucking told you, don't fall for this crap.
Mm-hmm. So I think your understanding of Ayurveda comes from these people. Mm-hmm. It's just been really interesting. Now I understand a lot more why this conversation is going the way that it is, which is that you're asking me all these questions, which I get the sense that you're sort of open to the answer, but...
Oh, man, is becoming the judge. You are sort of open, you're kinda there, but not there yet. Follow my lead and you will become even more open-minded. And Dr. Mike falls for it.
But I think you're asking questions that are not open-ended questions. You're asking questions where you already have a hypothesis.
It's not an hypothesis. It doesn't work based on evidence.
And you are asking me to reflect upon that hypothesis or even counter that hypothesis or support it.
That's fair.
I think that you would benefit from studying Ayurvedic.
God, man. Now if Dr. Mike accepts it, he falls for the frame that he doesn't know anything about this medicine and that there is a lot of benefit to learn here and that he must learn it. So if he accepts it, Dr. K here becomes the authority of this conversation and of this type of medicine in general, which Dr. Mike would have no recourse against. And now listen what he says.
Medicine.
Agreed, which is what I'm hoping in this conversation.
Yeah.
Fuck, man, this is so weak. Not only he agrees, he even says, I'm hoping to get from this conversation. The frame is, I'm hoping to learn from you. Now Dr. K becomes the teacher, the authority. He becomes the student, the pupil, the learner, and he loses all his power and leverage. I'm sorry, Dr. Mike, you're a good guy, but you lost here big time. So overall, I don't want to sound mean towards Dr. Mike again. I'm saying this because he's a nice guy. What we do here is to help good people like him to understand better manipulation, power dynamics, social power dynamics, persuasion, and influence. You cannot go out there in the world with this nice guy attitude because you're gonna lose to people who are more aggressive, more domineering, more dominant. Dr. K is very dominant. Don't fall for his Eastern medicine type of woo-woo. He's a very aggressive guy, socially very aggressive. He's always playing the teacher role. He's always beating back when attacked. He knows his power dynamics. He's got that natural inner power with him. Learn your power dynamics and take a good stand in the world. Cheers, guys.